Hey, fuckers.
I was trying to think of a riff I did. I can't remember it. There it is. I don't know where it's from. Backwards. Oh, fuck it. There's only so much you can do with a 10-reed harmonica acoustically, you know? I need some accompaniment. We got to get Dean here to play some guitar or something.
There you go.
I'm kidding.
I just saw a short on Facebook. Somebody said, what Bob Dylan sounds like to people who don't like Bob Dylan, and a guy stuck 2 harmonicas in his mouth and just blew in and out.
That's what it sounds like to me, too.
Yeah, me too. So you got some pool days with this freaking
About
unbelievably hot weather.
It's about time. It's been stupid hot.
Yeah. Big time.
I love it. I get on a raft and I go round and round.
Yeah.
And I flip over and I go round and round. And I got to get out and drink about a gallon of water because
Yeah.
I sweat. You can see water level rising in the pool. Jesus, sweat a lot for a little bastard.
Well, I got tired of messing with my pool, so I called up Josh Farley.
Oh, good.
And I think he said he takes care of yours
Yep.
sometimes too. Coincident. He came over yesterday. He said, "You'll be ready to swim by the time I leave." And he was right.
Yeah.
Man, it was good to go.
Yeah, he was.
Crystal blue.
Darren recommended him to me. He used to work with Darren at Pro Pools and said, Josh will help you out, and he has several times.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just going to get him to help me open and close from now on. So I don't have to count on Darren to run all the way from Cheekateek
Yeah.
to come up here and help me. Actually, all I need somebody to help me put that cover on. That's all I need. Everything else I can do.
Right on.
Yeah.
I got Josh coming every week now. I figured I don't have to mess with it.
Yeah.
He can come every week and do what he's got to do.
Have you tried the vacuum I gave you?
Yep.
And
It works most of the time, but sometimes it'll hit the wall and
stay
just
there.
stop.
Yeah, it'll eventually go.
What?
I used to do it here too. I get so mad at it. I get the pull, you dumb son of a bitch. I'm cussing out a robot. That's class. Nothing but class here.
That's right. Have you been keeping up with, do you know who the Liver King is?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Big muscle-bound steroid guy who swear he didn't take steroids, but then he got busted. Well, he got arrested yesterday because he threatened Joe Rogan. The Liver King has a
Well, that's
podcast.
the podcast king. You can't be threatening the podcast king.
Well, he went live and said, "I'm going to kill Joe Rogan."
Oh, that's stupid.
And he flew to Texas. So Joe Rogan said, "Well, this is getting pretty serious. I'm going to call the FBI." So he did. He called the FBI, and they went and arrested the guy.
Wow.
But he's lost it. He's mental.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you didn't kill Joe.
Yeah, right?
I like Joe.
I mean, unless he has a weapon, I don't think he really has much of a chance of whipping Joe's
No, I
ass
don't
or
think
anything.
so either.
He's a bad dude.
He's a badass.
He kicks that bag, that video that goes around, he kicks that bag so hard you could feel it
Yeah.
when he hits it.
That would kill me.
Yeah.
I'd be just in half.
So I heard a rumor, and I hear a lot, about the band or Kicks, and people say, hey, this or that. But this one came a couple of times, so I thought maybe there was something to it. Not that it's true, but there was a rumor, I guess back in the late 80s, that you were dating Christina Applegate. Kelly Bundy, every man's fantasy.
There's no truth to that. But we were invited to a party in Hollywood Hills, and it was her house.
Get out.
Yeah, and so the band went up, and it was her, and she had just a couple of friends, and had a nice evening.
So you did meet her.
I met her, yeah. But I never dated her. She was way out of my league.
Wow. So was it just the band and her friends?
Pretty much, yeah.
I
don't know how. I'm surprised Ronnie didn't try to go after her.
That's what I was going to ask. You sure Ronnie didn't?
The Puss King, the Hound.
Wow. You never told me that story. That's
never
crazy.
came up.
Damn, I'm not sure if I could have went to
This
her
is in the
house and not
beginning of
tried.
Married with Children. This is when Fox just got on the air.
Yeah.
And Married with Children was like the only show that anybody was watching. So it was in the infancy. So she wasn't really famous yet. So I didn't even know who the hell she was.
I got you.
But free party and free booze, fuck yeah, I'm there.
So that must have been where the rumor came from.
Yeah, probably.
Found out you were at her house. Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we're talking about the heat and it being extremely hot. Something happened to Jimmy at a show one time?
Yeah, this heat reminds me of we were playing in Houston, something called the Rooftop or something like that, and it was outside, and Houston gets hot in the summertime. It was about like this, if not hotter, and everybody was out of breath and sweating like a pig, but just still trying to get through it. I can go no matter how hot it is, and I pay for it later. I just give it all I got. And I'm going, and the whole band's going, and I look around at Jimmy. It's about 3/4 through the show, and I look around, and Jimmy's purple. Wow. I mean, purple. And I looked at the guys in the band, and I go, stop, stop, stop. And we got some ice on Jimmy's neck and on his head, and give him a little time to recover. He finished the show, and this is one of them times where I wouldn't fly alone because I'm a pussy. Yeah. I won't fly alone. So Mark Shanker usually would accompany me because I needed somebody to get me around. I'm terrible. And Jimmy and them had to get up early and go to the next show. And when I got there, I could just tell he was still off. It took him about 2 to 3 days to recover from that heat stroke. And it's like, and in hindsight, we all look back at it and go, that was the first sign that there was something wrong with Jimmy, and I don't think he followed up on it. So the next thing he had was a heart attack.
Damn.
That was, I don't know, several months later, but that was scary shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin and Tracy both have a heat thing to where once they start getting overheated, there's no turning it around. You can kind of slow it down, but they're done for a while. Tracy. We were at a Motley Crue show, the only Motley Crue show I've ever been to. And right before the band came on, I looked over and Tracy was passed out. Wow. I had to call for medics, and they took us up on a golf cart to the misting tent. Finally got her around, and I got her out of there. But yes, for a full day, she was
that
was out of
fucks
it.
you up. It'll fuck you up good. I've never had it. I've never had heat stroke.
Me neither.
As many shows that I've done in like these festivals you do in like Oklahoma, and it's like 110, 115.
Yeah.
You just get out and do it.
Yeah.
Might not be doing it great, but you still get out and do it. I never had any trouble with the heat. I could still boogie.
Me too. I work out in it every day, and man, I just love sweating. It
Plus,
can't be too hot.
Every day. I still walk 5 miles in this stuff, and people, what the hell is wrong with you? It's what I do. It motivates me. Once I get the hardest thing over in the day, the rest of the day seems easy.
Yeah. You walked today? You already did your walk?
Always. Rain, sleet, snow, heat, cold, don't give a fuck. I'm there.
That's a have to.
It is a have to.
There you go. All
but
right.
it's a self have to.
Right. Right. I got you. So let's talk about, I guess it was, I don't know how many years ago, you'll have to remind me, but I got the itch to play again. But I didn't want to play out. I just wanted to jam with some friends. So I asked you, I asked Jimmy, I asked Bob Perry, and I asked Brad Divins. I got him out of retirement. He hadn't played, and just for us to get together at the Institute each week and jam around. And it was a lot of fun. And, I get it. I shouldn't have been there. I mean, you guys are all freaking big-time rockers. People were going to say, who the hell is that guy, and who does he think he is on stage with those rock stars?
He just owns the place. That's the only place we can practice.
So it kind of fizzled out, and I think that was the beginning of You're Welcome.
Yeah, kind of. I'd met Bob a couple of times, but I didn't really know him.
Right.
So getting us together like you did, and that's my fault that thing fell apart. When the thought of me having to sit around and learn cover songs again made me puke. I'm like, I had no fucking way am I doing that. And so I hooked up with Bob, and then it just kind of got the ball rolling. Jimmy and Brad started doing jams at Brad's house. Brad just put a studio in his house, and Jimmy and him were going and doing cover songs. They love doing that shit. I hate doing that shit. And then Everrise opened for Kicks in I don't know, they always open for Kicks. I don't remember where it was. And I talked to Bob. I said, Bob, would you be interested in helping me record an album? And he said, I'd be honored. And I'm like, I was floored by that. And Bob and Brian, Brian, not Brian, Bob, Jimmy, Brad, and me, and we put the record together. And I took my demo over. It was 10 songs of everything that's on there, and I had already recorded all the vocals, all the drums, all the bass. I did everything, and I just thought Brad was going to like lay it down from Pro Tools and mix it. That's what I was hoping he would do, but Jimmy and Brad talked me into just let's record over these. Let's keep the good stuff on here, but let's get Bob in here and let him do all the guitars again. Just he's a better guitar player than I am. Jimmy's a better drummer than I am. So everything went up another level.
Right.
But I did keep all the vocals on there because I was singing good at that time. And I'm like, I don't know if I can beat those vocals right now or not, so let's just keep them. And Brad, I got to play some bass on the record. I got to play some drums on the record. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was during COVID. So we had to be separated a lot. Jimmy would do his drums from his house and then send them over to Brad, and Brad would load them into Pro Tools. Bob was up there all the time. We're sitting around in masks, and stupid COVID masks, and it just sucked.
Yeah.
Everybody got COVID. Get the shot? Yeah. Got COVID? Yeah. The fuck good that shot didn't do shit. Didn't do shit.
Well, speaking of that, we have, I don't know how many copies we have left of You're Welcome on CD. I have a stack, the stack I took from here a few weeks ago.
That I signed?
Yeah. Yep, they're all signed. I apologize, there were some emails that I was going through and I saw people were emailing asking about them. I've just been so busy with the lawn and this and the Institute and everything else. I'm going to go back through those, and if you're interested in a CD, shoot us an email, the POTcast2025@gmail.com. I can't guarantee you one, but I think we've got a little stack left, but once they're gone, that's it.
I think I still have like 10 or 20 downstairs.
Oh, I thought you gave those to me.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
I was high.
Well, anyways, we're definitely getting to pretty much the rest of them.
That come up on my iPad the other day, and I listened to the whole thing again. And of course, I like it because I wrote it.
Of course.
But I don't know why the other guys couldn't find anything about that they felt was kicks worthy. I mean, Brian and Mark just said no. Ronnie was open to it. Ronnie would come in and do some solos for me. That's why most of the records are harmonica solos, because I can't play lead guitar for shit. And that's where Bob came in.
Yeah.
And Dean came up and did a couple of tracks for me too. But that was a hoot. It was a lot of fun. I'm so happy that I did it. I said the whole time, this will be my swan song. I'm done after this, and it was.
So do you still have the craving to write songs? Maybe
None.
not perform.
I got rid of Pro Tools. I don't even have my computer downstairs anymore. I don't even play guitar anymore. I'm so done.
Oh, I get it. I get it now. I didn't believe you at first, but I believe it now.
You better believe it.
I get it. I get it. Traveling across the country, across the world, what's some of your favorite places you've traveled to?
We've traveled everywhere. We've traveled the country probably 8, 9 times. I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to Alaska. Other than that, I think I've been to every state. So that's my bucket list. I want to go to Hawaii and freeze my ass off, then go to Hawaii or Alaska and go to Hawaii. That's like taking a cold dip to get in a sauna. The longest and the worst trip was Japan, because you practically lose a day. It's like 14-hour difference. To acclimate to that, and then just to do shows like the day after you get there. That was rough. Sweden, another one. After we did Sweden, I said, no more Europe. Ain't doing that no more. We were never that big in Europe. We never sold any records. We never really got any airplay. We played the UK once, played these little tiny clubs that nobody came to. The one in the city, the one in London, the Marquee Club. That was a good crowd, good show. And the other ones were like sparse out in the country, little holes in the walls. And then just playing all over here. The worst things to play in the U.S. are casinos, because they're always out of nowhere. You know,
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of nothing.
Yeah.
Except for the Mohegan Sun, which is a beautiful casino. If you've ever been, or if you've ever wanted to go to a beautiful casino, that's the one. But all over the country, when you go to a casino, you drive for hours and hours into nothing, and then there it is. So those suck.
Don't they treat you really well, though?
They do.
They pay
yeah.
good money. You get good
they treat
accommodations.
you really well. Yep, they treat you like kings.
Have you ever, I guess, been offered? Well, did you play Vegas?
We played Vegas a lot, yeah.
I thought so. Was it Count Vamped, or was it a casino? Or?
It was something that was in the streets. I forget.
Oh.
Something in the
Like
streets.
Fremont Festival.
Fremont Festival, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
we did that, and it was packed. There was several thousand people there for that one. And we've done clubs in Vegas. We've done Vegas probably about 4 or 5 times.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's hot there. It's kind of like this.
We've gone 5 or 6 times to Vegas in the heat. We drove from LA to Vegas one time. And it was 117 degrees in Death Valley.
Yeah.
Between Vegas and...
You got to get out of your car and just to experience it.
Yeah.
I remember we did that in a tour bus
Yep.
once. The bus driver says, it's 122. We're out in the middle of some desert. And I stop. I got to see what that feels like.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
you go out and you go, oh, God. That's enough. But you got to find out. 122.
No humidity, so it was a dry heat.
Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah. It's still hot, either
It's
way you
hot.
look at it.
It's damn hot.
And the mirages you see off to the side, I always thought people would exaggerate them, but they were real. I would
Yeah.
see shit out there and
Yeah.
say, hey, look at that, and then it would be gone. It's like, what the hell?
That's fun.
It's fun shit.
No drugs or nothing.
We've talked multiple times about different bands that have asked you to be their lead singer, Vinnie Vincent, Warrant, but when Kix broke up in 95, 96, were you looking to play with someone else? Did you ever offer yourself up?
I thought I was done, and I'd already started teaching. So I had like 20 to 30 students that I just started, and then I heard that Motley Crue was looking for a singer. I think Vince had either kicked him out or he had drug problems or whatever. And I reached out to Tom Werman, who was the producer, who produced Motley Crue, knew him well,
Yeah.
knows their management, and he did Blow My Fuse, and he did Hotwire. So I reached out to Tom and I said, you think Motley Crue would have any interest in me? And he may not even told him about it, I don't know, but I never heard anything back. So, but I did reach out that one time. I thought, I don't want to be in a cover band. I don't want to be in another mid-level band. I can
Yeah.
do that myself. But I thought something like that I would be interested in.
Wow.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
That would have been something there. Motley Crue, yeah. I mean, I can see
I can
it.
sing through my nose.
And I mean, Vince has been in the tank for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious. I'm not talking crap on him. I love Motley Crue. I love Vince Neil.
Yeah.
But his voice has been gone for a while.
Well, yeah, but some people just won't admit it and won't step away.
Yeah.
They'll just keep fudging it or keep lip syncing or whatever the hell it takes to get out there and make that money. Money's not that important when you get out there and embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, he's kind of the prime example you think of when you think of singers that should call it a day. He's the one that jumps in mind.
Unfortunately. But they're still going strong. And everybody goes, oh, he's singing good. I played with Vince a lot. I've never heard him sing good. Sorry, Vince.
Back in when they first started,
Oh, he was
had
good.
a,
Yeah, he was good. Unique.
Yes.
Very unique sound.
Yeah, I can never describe that the way he sings. It's almost
It's nasal. It's in a nasal register.
yeah.
Or head resonance, nasal resonance. It's up in here. It's not coming from down here.
Love Motley Crue. Like I said, I never got to see him, but that one time I look over and Tracy's passed out.
I just left her there.
We just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary last week
Oh,
30
yeah.
years.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Congratulations.
Hey, you got any cool anniversary stories?
Kelly and I, we went on our 20th wedding anniversary. We went to Ocean City. No kids.
Right.
My mom was living with us. Her dad come up to help with the kids. We had a dog with 2 kids, and like parents are going to watch our kids while we go celebrate our wedding anniversary. The worst fucking weather. It was like the weather we had a couple weeks ago. Every day. It was
Rain.
cold. It rained. One day I said, fuck it. I'm going down to the beach. I wrapped up in a blanket. I'm the only one on there. There's nobody else on this beach. I'm sitting there, and I got like this, but I put a beer in it.
Okay.
I'm sitting there, shivering, looking at the waves, and this cop comes by. I'm like, are you shitting me? I'm the only one on the beach, and got a cop
Yeah.
on the beach on patrol. And he stopped me and says, what's in the cup? I said, beer, dump it, or I'm going to give you a citation. And I just looked at him with the most mean look I could think of, and I dumped that fucking beer. I said, you happy now? You fucking asshole.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a dick.
What a dick. I mean, I get it. No drinking on the beach. One beer on an empty beach ain't going to hurt anybody.
That's one of those things. The law was made for people causing a ruckus.
Yes.
So the cops could
and
say.
I get it. So, he could have used the discrepancy and
100%.
and just ignored it. But no. The other thing on that, remember when, I guess it was George W., when he gave all these rebates out to everybody in the country?
Yes.
It was like $350. We took that money and we bought these electric scooters for our kids, thinking they're going to love these. They're selling them on the boardwalk, and everybody's zipping by on these electric scooters. Oh, they're cool. We're getting some of them for our kids. And we bring those things home, and they wouldn't work.
Oh, man.
The little one did. We had a really nice little red one, and I think when I charged it, the battery blew up or something, so we got it home, and I tried to charge it, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So luckily we had some friends going down the following week, and I called the place and told them what happened. They said, we'll give your friend another battery. So we got a battery. The kids never played with them. I wound up giving them away. They didn't. You couldn't tear a Cody off a video game. That was cool. If I'd had something like that when I was a kid, I'd have got a Hell's Angels jacket, a helmet. I'm badass.
Damn right.
I'm a badass.
Damn
my
right.
little red scooter.
Oh, I was 30 and bought a gas-powered one and rode all around town.
Mini bikes.
No, scooter.
Oh,
Gas-powered scooter. I had a Harley, so, that set at home. I was out on the scooter. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I never had any interest in motorcycles. I've always been a little bit too afraid of them. One thing, I only weigh 120 pounds, so if that thing starts to tilt, it's gone. I got no upper body strength to hold that thing up.
Your friends never had dirt bikes as a kid or
I
anything?
had a mini bike,
Okay.
little mini bike, one of them little guys.
Yeah.
No gears, just we would go up terrains and everything. Of course, the cops stopped that, so I had to sell that. I've had a rough life.
You're a criminal. The more
know.
I hear about it,
Oh, yeah.
you're a rebel.
Drinking beer on the beach.
You need tattoos now.
I got some coming from Amazon.
I can't believe the mini bike didn't give you the fever to ride
No,
dirt
because
bikes.
I could control that. I put my feet down and I can control that. I've
Yeah.
tried motorcycles and I just get nervous. I've never shifted gears, the clutch and all that. It never interested me. I just thought I'd kill myself on that. So I didn't want to do that.
I get it. Most of the people, I've always had a motorcycle, street motorcycle. And most of the people I rode with 10, 15 years ago sold their bike because they're too scared now. And you know what it is? Fucking people on their cell phones
Yeah.
texting while they're driving.
Yep.
And motorcyclists are just too scared to get out there
Don't blame
anymore.
them. That's smart.
But I've always driven as I act like every car is out to get me. So I'm constantly scoping and scanning. And
Yeah, well, not everybody is as alert as you are doing that, because if you think about it, this guy's just going. You see them little crotch rockets going on the freeway like 100 miles an hour,
Yeah.
doing wheelies and
Yeah.
shit. Jesus Christ!
That's crazy. We're doing a big ride in 2 weeks for my brother's birthday, my brother that passed away. He got up one morning and wanted to do a hot wing challenge up at a place called Quaker Steak and Lube up in PA, way up in PA. So he got on his bike, drove up, did the 6-wing challenge, came home, and he loved telling that story. So we're doing a motorcycle ride in memoriam of him.
Oh, really?
On that day, his birthday.
Is that your brother that fell in the sewage and lost his taste?
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Was that on camera or off camera?
That was off camera.
All right, let me tell you.
All right.
He also, I set up a Guinness Book of World Records ghost chili eating contest for my
Right.
brother, because he could eat ghost chilies like they were grapes. So I set up the Guinness World Record. He didn't quite make it, but it was just because he couldn't chew fast enough. Hot stuff never bothered him, and what he blamed that on, or said was the reason, was he had a job with the sewer company once, and his job was to walk through the sewer with a scraper and scrape the shit off the walls that kept it flowing down the river of shit to these pits that had blades at the bottom.
The river of shit.
And it would chop up the shit and puke and toilet paper and send it out to where it needed to go. Well, they gave him a map on his first day and said, follow this map. Well, he crumbled it up, threw it away. He's walking along, and he had on hip waders. Well, he fell into one of these vats, and piss and shit filled up his waders. So he held on to the side by his hands, and his mouth filled with this shit and piss and puke and semen and everything else that goes down a toilet. And he says that's what caused his taste buds to go.
That would do it.
He's,
Yeah, that would do it.
he didn't know popsicles were different flavors till he was in his 30s.
How old was he when that happened to him?
18.
Whoa.
18.
Why the fuck would anybody do that job?
It's just one of the jobs that was available to him.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, but it did make him unbelievable with hot stuff.
I thought he got close. Or he didn't throw up, did he?
From
From the peppers?
about an hour after the contest was over, one of my other brothers came up, patted him on the stomach, said, "Good job," and he immediately threw up from that. But these things were so hot, we took one pepper and cut them into fourths and did contests with the crowd, and everybody that took a fourth of the pepper was throwing up.
Yeah. They're
And my
ridiculous.
brother ate, in 60 seconds, I think he ate 20-some peppers.
Whoa.
It's unbelievable.
No wonder he threw up.
But he didn't break the world record. He was close.
Wow.
And in his trial run at my house, he did beat the record. But there on stage, when we did the actual contest, I guess the pressure got to him. He just didn't chew fast enough.
Wow.
But yeah, that was crazy.
Even habanero peppers are ridiculous. I remember Kelly put a habanero pepper in a batch of chili, and it was so fucking hot,
Yeah.
we had to throw it out. And then I thought, we should have just put some rice and kind of diluted it a little bit. And then we've been doing chili like that ever since. Make rice, make it hot as fuck, and the rice dilutes it. And
Oh, there you go.
yeah, works good.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim would have ate that like it was nothing. Habanero.
He would have drank that.
Yeah, so he went and did the contest and said his famous line was, "I detect no heat." He said the only way he knew stuff was hot is his forehead would sweat.
Wow.
And he went and did this challenge, and he said, "I detected no heat whatsoever with
Wow.
these wings." And they're on, like, there's TV personalities that go there and film themselves eating these wings because they're so hot. So,
You ever watch that show Hot Ones?
yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that
guy's-
cool?
That guy's good. Yeah.
It's funny.
It is funny, especially when they get a wimpy celebrity. They can't get it past the second wing.
I like when he's trying to interview them, and they're like, "Ah, you
Yeah.
got to stop. I can't deal with this."
Milk.
There are some funny ones. You'd be hilarious on there.
I'd probably shit myself. That'd be funny.
That'd go viral.
All right,
All right. Let's talk about simple pleasures.
let's talk about it.
So,
You just brought me some gifts.
a couple edibles. Stopped by today. Hunter gave me some edibles to give to you. They are now on DoorDash, and we have it's a generic code anybody can use. So if you want to order DoorDash Simple Pleasures, it's Just Dash It, JUSTDASHIT, and if you read it wrong, it's Just the Shit.
That's the way you're going to remember it.
Yeah.
Just the shit.
Just the shit. You get $5 off your order when you order from Simple Pleasures. So Steve and I did something kind of special this week. If you go to Simple Pleasures and make any purchase whatsoever, until it runs out, there's only a certain amount, and mention Steve and Rick sent you, you will for free get your choice. Either a sour diesel joint, a Granddaddy purple joint, or a 20 milligram edible. Any purchase at all. If you go in, buy the cheapest thing they have and say Steve and Rick sent me, you get your choice of either of those three things. And Simple Pleasures located on
Virginia Avenue,
Old Orchard Shopping
Old
Center.
Orchard Shopping Center.
And Steve can attest to how great their products are. I've only done it once, and I can attest that it was great.
I did the 30 milligram liquid.
Okay.
The only thing about them, the great buzz, but they're so full of sugar. They're
Yeah.
just loaded with sugar, and I'm anti-sugar. So I'm having a problem with that. That's the only form of sugar I put into my body intentionally.
Yeah.
You know? So I wish it didn't have so much sugar. Hunter, do something about that.
Did you try the 100 milligram
I haven't
drink?
tried that one. That one's loaded with sugar.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll drink it. I just need to abstain for a couple of days, and I'll do about half of it. And
yeah, we'll have
wobble.
to check. I wouldn't be surprised if they have sugar-free
I
drinks
asked
there.
him if he had. No, I didn't ask him about the drinks.
Oh,
But I imagine you got to have some kind of sweetener in there because that's not the best tasting.
Right.
That's why they got sugar all through the edibles because pot tastes like shit.
yeah.
So I'd rather taste like shit than have all that sugar.
Well, I think if they make it, Simple Pleasures is going to have it. They have everything.
Yeah. The next time I'm down there, I'll ask him about it.
Yeah. Hunter will hook us up. That's for sure. So, yeah, if you're local to Hagerstown, or even if you're not and you partake,
In
visit
the
Simple
herb.
Pleasures. Yeah. Any way you think you can take it. You can eat it, you can drink it, you can smoke it. I don't know if there's any other way to take it besides those three, but if they do,
Enema.
Simple
You
Pleasures
take
carry
enema?
marijuana-induced enemas. Are we overheating, Jamie? Okay. You want to hit a couple emails?
You know it.
All right, let's do it. This is from Rhino. Yeah. Rhino, the loyal Kicks crew member from way back. When the band briefly went by the Baltimore Cox, and I saw them at the Mountain View, I swore I saw Steve wearing a Baltimore Cox jersey. Is my memory bad, or did he really have one? And if so, what did he do with it?
It wasn't a jersey, it was a jacket.
Okay.
The 11th Frame, what the hell's his name? Went right out of my head, god damn it. Wilbur from 11th Frame.
Okay.
We went over, we were serious about it. The Baltimore Cox. We just thought it had a,
Yeah.
you can't be Kicks, let's be Cox. So we went over to Greg Shiley, who does Shiley Acres, right? And Greg's a farmer. So we wanted to get a picture of a rooster, like coming out of its whatever, like out of a kill or something. So we go over there and we got these roosters and we had to like tie them and dangle them. And we put them on these ropes and we're pulling, trying to make this bird do anything. It would just, wouldn't do shit, wouldn't do a thing. So we didn't get a good logo for the Baltimore Cox. And then, Wilbur made us all these jackets. I think I gave it to my girlfriend at the time.
Wow.
Once it was shot down and we couldn't use it, then we went to the Generators and we couldn't use that. Then desperation time, we Kicks.
Was it because of the name you couldn't use it? Because the record company wasn't going to go with Cox?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do it.
But that's the reason you didn't.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
There was a band in Chicago called Generators.
Yep. Frank Colin from Jersey. Steve, what have you done with all of your stage wardrobe? Well,
I sold it all.
that's why the podcast exists.
That's
it
right.
was born out of
Who was the girl that bought the majority of that stuff? Real pretty
Devon.
girl.
Devon.
Yeah.
She bought
a lot of stuff. She bought the microphone, the stand, all these clothes. And
the original lyrics to a couple songs.
yeah, she could have a museum if she
Yeah.
wanted one. Or she could resell it and make a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would do the latter.
That's why the podcast is here. We had so much fun just shooting the shit, auctioning these items off.
We laughed so much, and because we couldn't believe the amount of money these people were bidding on this, what I considered not junk, but junk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's stuff that I had no need for anymore. And the fact, I mean, remember the little Kicks car? I think it got like $600.
The empty beer bottle.
Empty beer bottle. Ridiculous. Just silly. And we laughed, and I would get high during it, and that just made everything funnier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's what spawned this.
Yeah. So yeah, everything's gone.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
We were selling shit that you weren't even selling.
Because we went back and did another one, and then Kelly said, somebody on Facebook or Twitter or something said, how much money do you need? You got to sell all that shit. And that hit me. It's like, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it just to get this stuff out of my closet.
Right.
And that's when I thought, that's when Carolina just had a huge hurricane go through. So I donated a little over $8,000 to that fund.
Yeah.
And I made sure it went through the right channels to make sure it got to the right people. So
Yep.
still made some money on it, but I wanted to share it. And I thought that was a good cause at the
Hell
time.
yeah. Right on. So there you go, Frank. There's what happened to all of Steve's stuff. Now, Brian's got a lot of stuff left.
Brian's going to hold on to it.
Well, we did an auction with him, and we sold a little bit of his stuff, but we ran out of time. I mean, we went like 2 hours. So I still have a suitcase full of Brian's stuff over at the Institute. We'll probably auction one day. The auctions aren't as fun as they used to be.
Nah.
No, they used to be a blast, but it's kind of like work now.
It is work. You worked your ass off on that.
Sure, there was days and days of work after we did it of shipping that out. And
That's what I mean. You had to keep track of all that shit and ship it out.
yeah.
See, I never would have done that. I would have just thrown it in the trash can.
All right, we're running out of time, but there's a couple questions here fans have written in I really want to get to. One of them, I can't believe we haven't talked about yet. Okay, this is from Stu from England. So we have watchers in England. He says, Steve, how did you guys react to Beavis and Butt-Head's review of Cool Kids?
I didn't give a shit.
No?
You know, no, because it's supposed to be funny. That's what they did. Beavis and Butt-Head was like the music critics.
Yeah.
And no matter who they had, they would tear them up. I thought it was funny. And that video was horrible. It was body talk. It fucking sucked.
Cool Kids.
Well, that one sucked too. Yeah. Body talk sucked one. That one sucked too.
He said, if this was Cool Kids, I'd hate to see uncool kids.
Right. No, that's funny.
So when you, did you like call each other? One of you guys in the band saw it and call each other? You
No.
won't believe it. They just...
People just come up and talk to us about it, and we go, we don't care. What
You know,
the
when you
hell?
first found out about it, was it like, holy shit,
I
Beavis and
wanted to see
Butt-Head
it.
just...
I wanted to see what all the talk was about. It was only a blurb, you know. It was only like they showed a little bit of Cool Kids and made a joke, and that was it. Wasn't that big a deal.
They had a pretty big impact on Winger.
Yeah.
Like, they quit touring and everything
Yeah.
because of Beavis and Butt-Head. Questioned their
Two
own
fucking
career.
cartoons can ruin a career.
Right?
Ridiculous.
It worked out, but I think it was like a year or something they took off after Beavis and Butt-Head came out.
Probably, yeah.
But you guys just didn't give a shit.
We didn't
It
give a shit.
didn't affect you either way.
No. Fuck you, Beavis
That's
and
Kicks.
Butt-Head. Yeah.
That's Kicks. That's awesome. Oh, here's a name. Here's a name. Scott Raleigh.
We know him.
Yeah. How you doing, Scott? I did meet him backstage in the dressing room at the Rams head one
I remember
night.
that. I remember that.
Scott Raleigh writes in.
He was talking to me. Who was that guy that you were going to sue? Oh, that he's sitting right there.
Hey, Scott, I'm Rick. He says, hey, Steve and Rick, love the podcast. Keep up the great work. I'm curious. We know why Ronnie is called 1010, But where did Jimmy get the name Chocolate and Brian get Damage? Why didn't Steve get one? And if he could pick one, what would it be? Thanks and have fun, Scott.
I didn't need a nickname. Donnie didn't need a nickname. The nickname came organically. Ronnie, when they were rehearsing this little room, he had his marshals and everything, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, everything's on 10.
Yeah.
So it just, instead of Rin 10, 10, Ron 10, 10. So it's just, perfect.
You remember who came up with that?
Probably Donnie.
Okay.
Donnie or Brian. Brian's the best at coming up with nicknames.
Is he?
Brian Damage came from Bow Hill. Brian would show up and in the studio and he'd come and he would just plop down on the couch because he was so hungover.
Mm-hmm.
And Bo would just one day looked at him and said, "Brain damage." And it just turned into Brian Damage. He called me Steve Awesome. We talked about that last week about falling to earth and landing on my throat and we can make him builder.
Yeah.
But I didn't stick. Well, I'm kind of glad.
Yeah.
Jimmy Chocolate came from nobody could pronounce Chalfont or spell it. So Donnie just started calling him Jimmy Chocolate.
Okay.
That's it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the stick man never stuck?
The stick man came from doing in stores and sitting there for 2 and 3 hours and people ask, "Can you write something special for me?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, I'm all out." So, and they called us Atlantic recording artist, so I thought I'll draw a picture. So anything I can draw the stick man. So I said self-portrait, stick man, and it stuck. And everybody, "Can I have a stick man?" Dumb shit, just the dumbest shit sticks.
It was cool.
I still, if I give an autograph, "Can I get a stick man?"
Made a good album cover.
It did. That was a perfect album cover.
Right?
And Bob come up with the title. I said, "What the hell am I going to call this thing?" Bob said, "That's easy. You're welcome." The way I had with the rapport with the crowd.
Yeah.
"Thank you. You're welcome."
We got time for one more.
All right.
We're a little over 40 minutes now. This comes from James Buckley. He's got a statement first, and I'll read that, and then he's got a question. It says, back in the day, Circus or Cream magazine ran an article saying that Warrant was the horniest band in the world. The journalist said that title goes to Kix.
I don't know about that.
That's what he says. Okay, and then his
Horniest
question.
band in the world? Fuck no. Not even close. Ronnie was the horniest guy in the world, but
He might have made...
maybe he did. He made up for all of us.
That's
not
what I'm
getting any.
saying. Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that.
He also says, Steve, what do you have to say to the people who comment on the Baltimore DVD saying that you guys didn't play live due to the fact that they never got to see how good you guys were live? Apparently, there's
What?
feedback that the Baltimore Live DVD, people say that you guys weren't playing live.
That's
On that?
horseshit.
I was there. I know
Yeah,
it was
I know.
real.
No, that was real as you can get.
But
I don't
again,
even understand that.
well, it attests to when you guys played your shows, you sounded exactly like the records.
That's because we practiced our asses off and we took it very serious.
Most bands don't sound like their records. You do on the live CD and the
Yep.
live DVD.
Yep.
So when people who've never been to a Kick show hear that, they immediately dismiss it as,
Right.
oh, that's
There's
not
no
live.
way.
They did
Yeah.
that in the studio.
I get it.
That's what he's saying. That,
Okay. No, that's live as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I guarantee you. I've seen a lot of bands, national and just local. You guys sound more like your record than any band I've ever seen.
That was totally intentional. I mean, every riff
Yeah.
had to be the same, every vocal had to be the same, every drum beat had to be the same. And we took pride in that.
Absolutely. You want to take us out?
I'm running out of shit.
I know.
There.
Good enough.